Well, I want to welcome everyone to today's EntreprenHER Show. The EntreprenHER Show is a part of Women in E-Commerce. My name is Heidi Richards-Mooney. I'm the founder of Women in E-Commerce and your host today. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our special guest. Our program is called How to Turn Your Book into a Course, and our guest today is Jean Lanou. She's president of Irresistible Solutions. So if you're attending today's webinar, you're probably the kind of entrepreneur Jean loves to help. One who wants to grow but is frustrated by all that there is to do. Boy, can I relate. If that's you, let her show you how, through quick and simple daily actions, you can bypass overwhelm, self-doubt, and generate exciting momentum that can help you grow the kind of business and life you love. In addition to this method of helping entrepreneurs, Jean built a 7-figure agency and has helped hundreds of others reach their goals. Plus, she's a best-selling author, speaker, and consultant. She's a certified guerrilla marketing master trainer and serves on the advisory board, and she is a digital marketer certified partner, as well as an active campaign and Google partner. She also has tons of certifications: email, content marketing, inbound marketing, and way too many more to list. So please help me welcome Jean to the EntreprenHER Show. Welcome, Jean.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Heidi.
I am so delighted. You know, you and I met, I believe it was on the Women Rocking the Web Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes. And Jean was talking about her course, and I said, oh, we need that, and asked her to come in and be our speaker today. So I'm really excited. Love how social media is able to connect us to so many great people that we can learn from and expand our own knowledge, as well as just our relationships. So Jean, tell us about your background, how you first got interested in your current career path, and what experiences led you to that?
Well, as part of the presentation, I'm going to cover some of my story, so I don't want to go into too much, but let's just say I started it from necessity. Like when you're broke, you need to make money. And, that was it, I mean, truly. And so I actually started way back when with a cooking blog, and it became kind of successful. And, I was asked to be like a food expert on the Master Chef and tour with this French chef. And, so it was like, and as people saw all that happening, people started asking me, what are you doing?
How are you doing it?
Right.
Oh, that's fabulous. Well, I can't wait to hear the rest of the story. So let's talk about your business a little bit. What products and services or problems do you solve?
So pretty much everything online. I help people. I really focus in on service-oriented entrepreneurs. So those people that don't have like a physical product. Physical products are not my expertise, the e-commerce stuff. But I really like to help specifically authors and speakers to, grow and flourish. And usually technology isn't their thing. And, so helping them, make those decisions and move them through that path, that's my favorite thing, to watch them really become online.
Excellent. So Jean, I know that a lot of the things that we're going to talk about, or the questions I was going to ask, are in your program. So do you want to go ahead and start with the presentation? Because I think the next one is some of the advantages of creating an online course. And I imagine that's probably covered in your program.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to turn it over to Jean. And Jean, if I have any questions, I may interject here and there. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right.
Great. And I talk fast, so, I'm used to trying to get in a ton of information in a short period of time. So
yeah, I think that's us, women in general, and especially when you do a lot of work online. So ladies, and everybody who's listening in or who's in the program, please save your questions, write them down so you can ask Jean, because we will open it up for questions at the end.
All right. That's great. right, so again, thanks for having me. And we are going to talk about how to turn your book into a course. And we're going to start, I'm going to talk about 3 secrets that you may not know as to why you can do it. And then 3 easy ways that you can get started, and how to use your book, because that's why we're here, right? How do you use that book? And then we're going to talk about some people that are already doing it and how they've had their successes and what they've done. And then I'm going to give you an easy answer for continuing your journey. Excellent. First, the 3 little secrets. 1 is you have the expertise you need. And I know that shouldn't be a secret, but it is. You have the expertise that you need to create an online course. You can show people how to do what you need them to do. If you can write a book, if you can write a blog, you can show them how to do it as well. You can create an online course. You can demonstrate a specific process that will leave someone with a feeling of they're able to attain a result. Then you can create an online course. And this goes for fiction authors as well. You know, so if you have a book of fiction, you can still leave them with that feeling of moving forward and knowing the secrets and, you know, really getting the inside information. And number 3, which is one of my favorites, is there isn't just one way. So you don't have to do it the way everybody else is doing it. You can do it your way. So you can look at what you feel comfortable with. So this being on video, if this isn't you, that's okay. If the slides, if that's not you, that's okay too. So there's more than one way of doing it. All right, and then the 3 easy ways to get started with your first online course is start with your story. So what's your highlights, your lowlights? What really makes you tick? Why do you do what you do? Who inspired you to write your book? Or what inspired you? You know, I heard some of the stories from the ladies on this call earlier, and it was inspiring, right? And people want to know that. They want to be part of that. You know, what challenges did life throw your way? What epiphanies did you have? And what have you managed to achieve in spite of it all? So those things are things that people want to know. And they're reasons, you know, that are going to really help you get started with your course. So I'm going to share my story. And so this is a picture in Italy. We're putting our feet in the fountain. Don't do that, by the way. The Policia, they're not fond of that. But this is my husband and myself and our 2 kids, my son and a daughter, right? So I have the map set and what you would consider like the perfect family: 2.5 kids and the dogs and the big house and the car. And, you know, we could go wherever we wanted and, you know, do whatever we wanted. We had it all. And then it was 2008 and we had our own business, and it was pretty tough. Things, especially here in Florida, really, really crashed and pretty much lost it all. And we had, at that time, we had about 16 employees, and then that went down to none. And, you know, slowly but surely we kept borrowing from our retirement, borrowing from everything so that we could meet payroll, because people just quit paying us, contracts canceled. It was a pretty tough time. So I knew that I needed to get a job, right? So that's the first thing you start thinking about. Okay, so I need to find a job. But I cried for 2 weeks. You know, at the thought of going back into the corporate world. Every time I'd think about it, I would start crying. And so I knew that's not what I really wanted to do, you know, because when I had the corporate job, I would leave before the sun came up and wouldn't get home until well after the sun went down. And, you know, my kids were still young. And so the thought of never seeing them, you know, was painful to me. And right about that time, I met Laura Langmeyer, she's a millionaire maker, and Kevin Harrington with Shark Tank. And they started telling me the reason that our business, was failing was because we didn't have a never-ending flow of leads. And that even during difficult times, if you run your business properly and you have those leads consistently coming in, then you would still be doing okay. And so they were talking to me about a funnel, right? So that funnel thing. Oops, I'll tangle that. And through Laurel, I met Ryan Dice. He is the guy in the front sitting next to me. And he owns probably the largest digital marketing training company in probably the world, definitely the United States. And it's called Digital Marketer. And so, he talked to me more about this funnel thing. And, I, partnered with him, and I was just obsessed with funnels. Just obsessed. I learned everything that I could learn. I took every course from every person that offered it. And keep in mind, this, there wasn't quite as much then as there is now. And so I took everything, and every time I did, somebody would tell me to do something different or to start in a different place. And, I would learn about email marketing in one place, and then I would learn about creating products in another place. And so I was just confused. I really didn't know what to do. And so I was working hard, but I still wasn't making any money. And then after months of trying, I finally figured out how it works. I finally got to put all those pieces together, and I had my first $30,000 month. And I thought, yeah, this is nice. I like it. I get it. I see how this works. And so, I went ahead and created a system, and I put it all together, and that was in my 10-week funnel system. And so that people wouldn't have to struggle the way that I did in getting all of those pieces put together and, going to all these different places to get it. So I created a 7-figure agency using this system and, made some decent money. And I made a lot of people a lot of money, right? So they were happy and, making money. And I was unhappy making money. I felt trapped. I had created a corporate job for myself, right? I had 6 employees. I, was on the clock. I couldn't leave, and so I had created for myself exactly what I had been crying for 2 weeks. And, then I created it for myself. And, while I enjoyed helping people, I didn't want to work 90 hours a week to do so. This is what I wanted. I wanted to, be able to go out in the boat. I wanted to be able to spend time with my kids. I wanted to, be able to take a vacation and not work 90 hours a week. That's the key. Not work 90 hours a week. And I was able to do that, so through creating courses and online trainings and, group coachings, and I still do some done for you, but just not in the same way. Made it so much easier for myself. I was able then to move to the beach, which had always been a dream. And you can see it's my lab's dream too. She enjoys it very much. And and then we moved to on a canal. And, so we have the boat, and no, it's not that great big yacht. It's that little boat that looks like the dinghy of the yacht, but still it's a boat, right?
We have one of those too.
And, but the neighbors, they have the yacht, and it's, that's my view, right? So that's what I look out to while I'm working. Right now, when I look out my windows, I'm facing out, looking at that beautiful view. And, so it's not so bad to work, right? And you can see my kids are grown now.
Beautiful.
I still believe deeply in funnels. I just use my funnels in a different way. So I create funnels not to bring in service work as much as I do create funnels to make other offers. So let me talk a little bit about what I consider a funnel, just in case you haven't heard that term. So people think of funnels in different ways. For me, A funnel simply means having some sort of offer or some sort of product for a person at the right time. So for the right person at the right time, the right offer. So that means having something of every price point, from free to low cost to higher price, depending on where people are in their journey. Because it's not what I want or what I think they need. It's about what they want, right? And so I need to be ready for them at wherever they are in their journey. So I still believe deeply in funnels. All right, so number 2 of how to get started, you need to look at what's selling. So you want to go out and you want to do research of people that do something similar to you, that has a book similar to your book. What are they doing? What are they selling already? Do they have a course? Do they have coaching? What is it that they're doing? And how can you do it better? And you want to be super specific. So there are a bunch of people that sell courses on how to create a course. But there are not a bunch of people that sell courses on how to create a course from your book. So if you can be really specific, you're going to be much more successful. And guess what? I can take this same information and then I can narrow it down and I can work with the next set of people that I love. How to create a course from your presentation. So now I'm going to be talking to speakers, right? So I'm going to pull out pieces of this and I'm going to start talking to the speakers and, let's create a course from your presentation, a course from your workshop. I don't know the name of it yet, but I guarantee you it will exist soon, right? And so I can then, start talking to them, because the more I can get specific and I can talk their specific language, and it's me, I'm a speaker, right? I'm an author, so I know that language, then the more they're going to relate and the more they're going to get for it, and the more they're going to move forward with it. All right, so now let's talk about your book and how we're going to use the book to create a course. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to pull out the ideas that are urgent or crucial. So look through it, and everything that's urgent and crucial, write that down. And then you want to look at, okay, well, now out of those ideas, how can I create a 5 to 7 module course? And why am I saying 5 to 7? Because any more than that, and you're going to blow people away. Now, I want you to remember, I have the system that's called a 10-week funnel, right? So what do you think my first course was? The 10-week funnel course. Yeah. So I blew people away. It was too much information. By week 5, week 7, they were like, oh, I can't take any more. It's just too much. So I broke that into smaller bites for people, broke it into email marketing, broke it into traffic, just taking out traffic. I was then able to make it be 5 to 7 modules, which is so much more easily consumable. So I learned the hard way, so I'm telling you this so that you don't have to learn the hard way, right? So keep it simple and uncomplicated, and narrow it down and more specific.
So then, Jean, people could take that if they had too much information in a book, for instance, and they could create more than one course. They could start with the very beginning and then, an advanced course in the similar information if they have too much stuff, right? So, for me, I have the 10-week funnel. So I actually created 10 courses out of that instead of just one, right? So I did 10 smaller courses instead of trying to, give everybody everything all at the same, when in overwhelming them, I created 10 separate courses. And so you could do that, and we're going to talk more about how they can break it out. So I don't want to get too in depth with it now, but yeah, it's like they could totally. Right. And so what topics do you already have content that you can use? Because why rebuild stuff if you've already got it? And so you may have other stuff besides your book. So I want you to
write all that down. I call it an asset list. So I want you to create an asset list of everything that you have. And then what do you already know about these topics? And the key is not just what you know, but what do you love, right? So which of all of those things that are urgent and crucial do you love to talk about? And then that's where you find your sweet spot, right? So you look at the solutions that your audience needs, then you look at what can be taught in 5 to 7 modules, you look at what you enjoy and what you do best, and then the content that you already have, and you get that little overlapping piece, and that's where the magic will happen. All right, now, remember, early on, I told you that there's not just one way. I did not lie. So there are a lot of different ways that you can create a course. You can do video, you can live stream it, you can create a webinar, you can create a webinar series, you can do email courses where you're sending out information daily or weekly or monthly. You can create an on-demand pre-recorded course, which means you feed it to them as they finish each piece. You can do live courses, so you can do 3-day live events. You can do half-day workshops. Again, it's unlimited, right, to how you want to do it, what fits your audience, what fits you. You can do audio courses. You can do interactive PDFs. You can do a live Q&A session, which I love doing that, right? You can turn it into a training / coaching. You can do live case studies, so you can bring someone on that you've worked with or someone you know has worked with, and work through that way. And you can do printable PDFs. It's unlimited. You can also do a mixture of these. What you include is going to depend on the price point. And remember, I said to have multiple price points. So for an email course, you might charge $27. And you might teach the same thing that you teach in a higher end video course, but you're doing it through email, so it's going to be $27. And then the video course might be $97 or $197. And then you might have a video that also has audios. And then you also have workbooks and PDFs and emails. And maybe you're going to charge $9.97 for that course, right? So you have all of the different price points. And you can choose how you want to do it, right? Do you want to expand on the topic as a whole from your book? Do you want to only take out specific sections of the book, the ones that people just absolutely love, that they talked about the most, and create a course about that? Or do you want to assume that people have read the book, put the book into action, know everything they need to know about it, and you want to move on to a more advanced level, right? Which is what you were saying earlier. So you can take your book and where it left off, you can go to the next level of that. All right, so step 1, always, 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 always. Did I say always? Start with the end in mind, right? So identify your goal. What is it that you want to achieve with this? You want to create your learning objectives. What do you want them, your audience, to get from this? And then you want to outline your course, which should be super easy if you already have your book, right? Because you have a basic outline there already for you. And then you want to create your learning activities. And what these are, how many there are, how intensive they are, is going to depend on the price point of the course. And then step 5, when you're building more interaction and engagement into your course, that's also going to depend on the price point of your course. How much access you have to me and how much interaction you're going to have with me is going to depend on the price point of the course. It's going to be very different for $27 than it is going to be for $1,000, right? So the interaction is very different. And so you want to build that in, but you want to build some into every course because you need to keep them moving. So you might do it in different ways. So instead of an actual Q&A with you, you may have an email to keep pushing them forward. This is what you're supposed to be doing today. Have you done that? Hey, can you hit reply and let me know what's going on? So let's talk about some people that are already doing it. Stephen Covey had the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It was, it's well known and it's best-selling book. And when he passed, Franklin Quest acquired it, and they created a 2-day seminar. And guess what they called it? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective. So, but they changed. They took the book and they created seminars with that. And then Laura Stack, she's a productivity expert, and she has the execution is the strategy. And she has taken that and turned that into 4 free e-productivity mini courses. So she's building her community with her book, right? So she's giving it free, but then once you have that community, you can then share your next book. You can have a higher price course that they move into after that. You can move them to coaching or consulting or whatever those next steps are. And then you have Denise Duffield Thomas, that she actually practiced what she preaches, and she has a high ticket item, and she also has free. So she has a little bit of everything based off of her book. And then what I really like, and I think this was quite wise, she offers a free video course, Release Your Money Blocks and Reclaim Your Money Power. And then she adds her other book in as a bonus. So if you take this course, I'm going to give you my other book. So like now you're really getting connected with her, right? You're taking her course, you got both of her books. And so then what she offers next is she's moving them into her higher ticket items. And I think that's really quite bright. And guess what? If they can do it, so can you. You may have guessed that there is a bit more to it, though, than what we were able to cover together today. And you're right. But you don't have to do it alone. I just happen to have a course called How to Turn Your Book into an Online Course. Coincidence. And what you're going to create during that is your course. You're going to take your book or your PDF or your blogs, and you're going to turn that into an online course. What's really cool is you're going to be watching over my shoulder as I am creating my next course, Turning Your Book into a Business. So I have a three-part book series coming out with one of my publisher friends. We're co-authoring, and it's turn your book to a business. And so that is going to be the next course, your book to a business. So having a course or having a book isn't enough, right? And so how do you turn that into a business? And you're going to watch that as I'm creating the next course. And what you're going to get. So this is a little bit of everything. So when you have all of those choices of all the different things you can do, you're going to actually hear from a publisher and their point of view on what you need to do in order to have your book be successful and to continue to make money from your book. You're going to have action plans and checklists and resource guides and cheat sheets and videos of how to, move forward. And this is the wrong slide presentation. So I'm going to stop it there. That is embarrassing.
Wonder what happened. Well, we can give them the code, correct?
Yes. Yep,
Okay.
We'll give them the code.
So you can tell them a little bit more about how they can get the course, or
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to turn off my fan. I don't know how it got on.
Yeah, so I'm going to, if I could also pause really well. I'll keep going. All right, so you can create your course if you're ready to create your course. You can do it the easy way and take this course and find the perfect course format and the platform and what really takes to get tips. And again, you're going to hear from me and all the mistakes I have already made, and so that you don't have to do those same things. And then you're going to learn how to keep your students active and moving forward, so that what happened in my 10-week funnel course doesn't happen to you, where people start dropping off in the middle. Okay, and then so I guess you'll be putting a link up on the website. And so when you go to my site, you're going to see it there. We'll put it up there for you. And it's $197 all day, every day. But because I'm here today with you, we've decided to make that $47, and you'll put the coupon code there for them.
I will. I think it's EntreprenHER 2018, but I want to double check that. Is that what it is? EntreprenHER 2018?
Yes.
ENTRENPRE. ENTRENPRENHER 2018. That's the spell EntreprenHER 2018. That's the coupon code to get the 150 off. So I will definitely put that up on the website, and we can mention it again at the end, Jean, if you'd like. I'd like to start asking questions if you're ready.
Yes.
Do you want to take that down so that if anybody else wants to ask questions, they can also get in on the excitement?
Yep.
If you do find that other link or the other slide, feel free to send it up, put it up there. So obviously you've talked about the steps, some of the things that need to be done. Let's talk a little bit about delivery of online courses, because I don't think that you covered that in your program. Is there an ideal way, say for instance, you're having a video course with workbooks and everything, and I'm thinking like Skillshare, Udemy, Teachable, there's so many different places. Do you have a preference, or are there any that you think are better than others?
Yeah, there's lots to choose from, yes. And so I prefer Thinkific is the one that I'm using. I have moved all of my courses over to that. I was using, and I do cover that in my course, we go over 3 of them, but my favorite is by far Thinkific. In the one that I was using before, so I'm still moving courses over, was amazing, and it had tons more features than Thinkific does. That's not always great, right? So when you have more, what did I say that causes? Confusion. And so, trying to get people, is difficult enough for me, right? But then when you have somebody that isn't techie and they go in and they see all of these choices, they freeze.
Yeah.
And so that's what I really like about Thinkific. It's very intuitive, and it's easy to use, and it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. So I know that sounds like a negative thing, but it's really not. It creates a beautiful course simply.
Yeah. Well, if you think about the average user that's going to take a course, probably would want something easy, because their main goal is to learn what you have to share. And if they've got to learn a platform before they learn how to do what you want them to learn, they're just not going to do it a lot of times. So I have a couple of questions, it looks like, in the room. So let me find out. Lauren said, I was wondering if you offer a done-for-you option, and if so, how much you charge. So that was Lauren's question.
Okay.
That one first.
So I done for you is tricky. That's not something that I could just rattle off a price for, because how many modules are we talking? 3? Are we talking 8? Or how much would I be doing for you? Would I be? Are you asking me to record it, or you have all the recordings and I'm putting the recordings up? So there's a lot of different price points, but I'd be happy to talk to you and see where we could go with that.
Excellent. And then Evelyn, and that's a great question. And I think it's really something that a lot of people want to know, but I don't give pricing until I see what the people have. I think it's almost impossible. So
Right.
Lauren had a part 2 to that, and then I'll get to your question, Evelyn, if you don't mind. Lauren's question is, I have a certification program that needs to be turned into a course immediately, and then have the 2 books, one which is pretty short and the other which is longer. I have also recently created a white paper and would love that to be turned into a course. Certification program is relatively short, but I'd love some help with it. So that's her like 3-part question. Might be an offline answer, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, okay. So a certification program that needs to be turned into a course. And again, so a certification program probably for coaches or something like that, but how long is it? How short is it? And when it needs to be turned into a course, do you already have things recorded? Do you already have all the content written? So like, that's really something that we would have to chit chat about to see, how long it takes and, all of those kind of things. But I'd love to have that, and I'd love to help you.
Can I ask just a very basic question then? So for instance, say I have an e-course, or I have a book, and I have our certification program, and I have all the modules done in video format. I'm ready to go. All I need is someone to transfer that video, get it into a format that would be easy to deliver to my people.
Yep.
What would something like that typically run at a ballpark, just to give me an idea, because I have no idea. And it's 8 parts.
Yeah. It's 8 parts. So 8 parts I'm assuming into something I already know how to use.
Like Thinkific.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking of one I have.
What?
Because I'm thinking of one I have, and I imagine this might relate to some of the other people in the room.
Yeah. And so it's really hard for me to say, but I would think it would probably be around $1,000, $1,500, something like that.
That's about what I've gotten quotes on. So I was just kind of wanting to know, you're right online. I don't think it's, in fact, I've gotten crazy quotes, 2,500 and stuff. So Evelyn's question was, can you take an ebook and create a course? Well, I imagine yes.
Yes, absolutely. You can create, I had a PDF ebook for my 10-week funnel course and created a course from that, so, you would have to expand a little bit, and you're still going to have to do the research to determine what kind of a course you want to create and how your people like to learn and how you like to teach and, all of those kind of things, but absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So let me ask you this question, because I think this is a question people might have on their minds, is some of the mistakes that you see people make when they create their course.
Well, they put too much information in. That's the biggest mistake. You want to teach everybody everything that they need to know. That's one. 2 is that they're not specific enough about who they're talking to, and so they want to talk to everyone, and so then the course is also not specific enough. 3 is they don't talk to people once they buy the course. And so someone buys the course and that's it. They're on their own, as opposed to getting some email reminders from you based off of, how much they have completed or not completed, a little encouragement here and there to, get them moving again.
Excellent. Okay. So let's talk about some of the best ways to market an e-course.
That's funny that Evelyn came up with that question right as you did too.
Oh. We might think alike, Evelyn. And I want Evelyn to introduce herself at the end, and anybody else who hasn't had a chance, because she's amazing. They all are. Go ahead.
Okay, so how to market the course. Just like creating the course, there are lots of different ways that you can market the course. And, and just like your book, there's lots of different ways that you would market your book, and, you want to do them all. So speaking, going on, webinars, going on other people's podcasts, having an affiliate program. So an affiliate is someone that sells other people's stuff. and they'll look at your program and they'll sell that for you. You want to, for me, it's all about the funnel, right? So I've already talked about that. I'm obsessed with the funnel. And so having, the lower cost items that I can do some sort of advertising to, whether it be Google or Facebook or some other things that I use, you can have the lower end items be their offers at first, and then, move them into the bigger courses. What else? There's lots of different ways to market. I do all of them, by the way. So I didn't choose just one. It's like I go, yeah.
Well, I imagine some courses lend themselves to different type of advertising. I wouldn't even know what that would be, but perhaps that there are some types of courses, like a video course might be more easy to promote on like Facebook Live or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's really not about the type of course as much as the price point of the course.
Okay.
So, if you're selling, for instance, if you're selling $1,000 course, the course is $997 because nothing is ever 1,000, right? So you're selling a course that's $997. You're not going to do that from a Facebook Live, and you're not going to do that from an email. You're going to need to create either, a launch where you actually send out small videos, to show them what they're going to be learning, or you're going to do that from a webinar. Okay. And that's really the only two choices when you have the higher end products. They have to really get to know you, to know that they want to learn from you, that they like your style and they want to learn from you.
Exactly. I agree. So let me see what the questions are in the chat. We've got a couple more. So Evelyn says, okay. I'm sorry that you answered those questions.
And I don't market the course with Facebook ads. No. With Facebook ads, that's just creating traffic, and I create traffic around people that are interested in learning how to create a course. And I do that with Facebook Lives about creating courses, or I do that with blogs that are about creating courses. And so I'm generating the traffic around what the course is. And then I have a free offer that is around that course. And, by the way, I do have a free offer for you too.
Yes, you do.
I do. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick again.
Excellent. And while you're looking for that, let me tell you, Evelyn has another question. Do you think a webinar and charging $47, do you think doing a webinar and charging $47 to introduce them to the course? I guess the question is, what do you think about doing a webinar and charging $47? I'm not sure. Evelyn,
so yes, you can do a webinar, and the great thing about that, if you're comfortable doing webinars, is it will sell more, right? And then you can create what's called evergreen, so that you don't have to continually do them live. You record the webinar, and then you play that webinar over and over again. And so as for people coming in, they can go straight onto that webinar and learn about that course and then purchase that course. And it could be $47, but from a webinar, you can even sell higher priced courses.
Excellent. So is this your offer? Tell us a little bit about this.
My free gift for you guys.
And I'll put that on the site too. Well, I'll put it in the email, not on the site.
Okay. So you go to the irresistiblesolutions.com/gift-her. And I have this, it's pretty much everything that we talked about is how to create a course outline. And it's a really nice infographic that is going to tell you step by step how to choose your topic, how to create your outline, how to get engaging content and plan your course delivery. So it's a really nice infographic for you.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that. Any other questions? I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and then I will ask my last question. I'm going to unmute everybody. See if we can.
Okay. And I have this slide up so that they can see that it's irresistiblesolutions.com/her. HER BTC, which is book to course. And the coupon code you were right about, the EntreprenHER 2018.
Excellent. Okay, so make a note of that, and I will definitely put that on the website as well as put it in the follow-up email so you'll all get that. Everybody who's here and those who registered that are not here. Because you know how that is. You get like 37 registered, and actually I think we had a pretty good turnout. I think considering the amount of registrants we had. So thank you all for being here. Let me go ahead and unmute everybody. And those of you who would like to ask a question, you'll be on the screen and we'll get that going. I want to get everybody's questions on the screen. Hold on one second.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
And if I hear interference,
Hi.
If I hear any interference, I'll have to
okay. I just
go ahead.
Okay. All right. Forgive me, please. My phone has been going in and out, but I am definitely interested in the service. And I think you said the website is irresistiblesolutions.com/her gift.
HER BTC, so that book to course. That's for this course that I'm talking about, the how to turn your book into a course. And so but if you just go to irresistiblesolutions.com, then and you can reach out to me there, or you can send Jean at irresistiblesolutions.com if you want to shoot me an email so that I can, if you want to chat.
And if you register for the course, you will get access to it as well. So,
I was wondering if you have a business phone. I happen to be legally blind, and I was wondering if I could perhaps call. That might be a little easier for me at the moment.
Sure. I'm going to be really honest. I don't answer my phone unless I have an appointment. But if you call me and leave a message, I will call you back. So the phone number is 844-411-JEAN, JEAN.
Okay, that was 844-411
JEAN. Yep.
Excellent.
Okay.
And we have that on the recording. And Jean, if you want, I can put that in the follow-up email that they can leave you a message, or just if you prefer to do your Calendly link, you tell me your best way to, because that's the last question. This was the best way to contact you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. They can, anyway, I will respond anyway. If they want to reach out on Facebook, I'll talk to them that way. If they want to email me, or if there's a form on the website where they can just click it and fill in the contact us, and I'll talk to them there. So, but I don't answer my phone because remember, I don't like working 90 hours a week.
I don't answer my phone.
So unless I only do by appointment phone calls, or else nothing ever gets done. I would be on the phone all the time. So but I will call back.
I gotcha. Any other questions? So, Evelyn, I'd love for you to introduce yourself. I don't know who else is on the call, but I'm going to look while you're talking. But I'd love for you to introduce yourself because I know I'm in one of your groups and you're in our group.
Yeah, I'm Evelyn Flynn, the trade show whiz and the branding swag queen. I also have a nonprofit called Women Wine Connections. I started back last September. We're a social networking group for women, and I'm looking to expand chapters into Florida and other cities. So that is my game for our nonprofit, to give back to women and children in their community, just like we are doing here with Irish Domestic Violence and the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. And I know all cities have some type of nonprofit that needs help for fundraising and getting money back into their community. So I'd love to share that and get some feedback and see if anyone would. I need the help to grow this, and so I'm looking for that help for some WPN sisters to help me out with that.
Yeah.
And Evelyn, you're going to be on my show. We haven't booked you yet, but
we hadn't booked. Yeah.
So we'll definitely have some time to talk about that then too. So please.
But me and Jean were in the same speakers class at WPN with the 3 sisters.
Oh, Trish and Susan.
Trish, Nancy, and Susan. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Very
yes.
well.
We did the same speaker course. So what I'm looking to do is I have a trade show whiz, which I just finished up my new website, and I'm looking to market that. I have a fabulous ebook I just had created, and get that out and do a webinar, and then I want to create a course with it. And I want your feedback, Jean, to let me know if that's something someone in business that has either not done a trade show or has been to trade shows, and they're just not seeing that return on their investment.
I think that's awesome. I do. And I don't know that I would, you can call it trade shows or sponsorships, because like, I don't necessarily think of it as a trade show as much as I don't do trade shows, but I sponsor events.
Okay.
And so when, so if somebody's having a 3-day event, I'll go in as a sponsor. And, I would have loved to have had a nice cheat sheet and, some ideas as to what to offer, like as giveaways there. How do you get people to stop at your booth, and how do you get them to give you their name at the booth? What should your sign look like? Should you have a sign? Should you have a tablecloth? Those would have been great things to know.
Well, I've got this ebook, and it's 7 simple steps to getting your trade show and getting it so that you get the return on your investment. And I want to take these 7 steps and put them into a course that goes more in depth. Really, as I say, dig into the meat and potatoes of the whole thing of doing a trade show. But it all starts with the number 1 thing and ends with number 2 and number 3. And number 1 is planning. Right. What's in between here is just a filler. Right. Okay. Number 2 is the follow-up. And number 3 is when your salesperson actually converts that prospect to a customer. Right. And where do you go from there?
So Evelyn, in a 1-hour webinar, it's impossible to get all of the great information that we'd love to have, which is why Jean graciously offered her course. So I will reiterate that I'd love for people to at least check it out. I think that, Jean, if you want to bring that one back up again, there you go, for people who are interested. And, maybe we can do a follow-up at some point and do some live of some of the people who've taken your course and talk about it at some point.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah. And talk about their courses that they created. Yeah, that would be.
We could have a whole webinar on look at my course and give everybody a 5 or 10 minutes to talk about their course.
Oh, that would be a blast. Yeah.
So I'm up for that. Anytime I can gather a group of women together anywhere, whether it's online or in person, I'm always up for that. Any last questions, or let me see who's in the room, see if there's anybody else I need to introduce. Catherine, I'm not sure. Catherine, I see you're in the room, but I'm not sure which Catherine it is, and you're welcome to introduce yourself if you'd like.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Kat. Yes.
Awesome. This is Catherine Menace. How are you?
Hey, my friend Catherine. Catherine is also a former honoree with Golden Mouse Award. I believe it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So, Catherine, it's been, and boy, has she been doing some stuff in politics. I'm so proud of you, girl.
I am so busy. I'm actually working on a judicial campaign right now, so it's got me really strapped. So I apologize for not having a face before, but I'm here multitasking.
Well, don't we all? But I'm amazed that you even had the time today, because I know with all the elections coming up and everything, you got really nuts. So, Catherine, you mind to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, wow, I've done so much. I've been many places. Just call me the maid. How about that? But my latest, most people know me from having served on 3 Super Bowl host committees. And so helping small businesses to connect with the premier vendors that are working with the host committee. I don't know if you know, Heidi, but we won the bid for the 2020 Super Bowl. So we'll be back out there again. But aside from that, I do public relations and marketing for small businesses. I do consultation with small businesses. So they'll kind of understand how important it is to be certified in order to partner with large premier sporting events like the Super Bowl.
Well, Catherine, thank you. And I want to just thank everyone for being here. By the way, Catherine, I was on the host committee, but I can't even remember what year it was. It's been at least 20 years.
I know, right?
So great. San Diego was playing, whenever that was,
Yeah.
the year I was on there. So anyway, I want to thank all of you for being with us today, and especially Jean for giving of your time and of your talent and of your expertise. Jean, again, what is the best way to contact
This
you?
was so much fun. I just had such a great time. This was fun. I love, like it's so much more fun when you're, to do a webinar, but when you can actually see people and you get to talk to people and interact with people, that's a great time. The best way is to, reach out from the irresistiblesolutions.com contact us page. And that's the best way, or you can send me an email, Jean@irresistiblesolutions.com.
And your website has your social media and everything. So I'd recommend highly that you connect with Jean on Facebook if you're not already, because she's got a wonderful group on Facebook, as does Evelyn. So
I have
all of you
groups.
have two groups.
Yeah, I have two groups. I have an Irresistible Solutions Facebook group. Yeah.
Yes.
You're not part of that one, but yeah. So.
Not yet, but that's what I just heard about it. Anyway, so again, this has been a real pleasure. I'm thrilled. We're going to definitely share the recording with everybody who's on the line and whoever else, our members as well. And it'll be on the podcast, The Entrepreneur Show. Again, it's Heidi Richards Mooney from Women in E-Commerce, and we've been speaking with Jean Lanou from Irresistible Solutions. If you haven't figured out your simple step-by-step strategies, Jean's the gal. So thank you all so much for being with us today. And Jean, I will be talking to you in very shortly.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.